Right, I'm bound to make some people angry with this video, including Leeds fans. Right, there's one prediction in here that will make most of you mad, and it's not what you're thinking either. And don't worry, because like other clubs, they're not safe either. I've got some pretty horrific predictions coming up, but also some pretty nice predictions. So before we start going through all 20 of them, and I want to specify these are predictions, not rankings, just 20 random stuff. Do you want to focus? Come on, mate. Just random, funny 20 predictions that probably won't happen, but might. And then I thought at the end of the season, in a year's time, we can react to these reactions and see how many of them were right and wrong. But before we go through them, please like the video while you still like me and subscribe. So let's begin. I thought we'd start off quite nice with number 1. Liverpool will win the league. I do. I think it's hard to argue it, you know. Man United have fallen off, and it's possible Man United will come back, but I don't think they will. Liverpool have signed Wirtz and Frimpong, and I think if they get a top striker, which they're looking like they might, Liverpool will smash this league. I think Frimpong is so underrated. Everyone's looking at Wirtz. I think Frimpong is the man to watch, to be honest. Number 2, rather fittingly, is that Arsenal will be runners-up again. I mean, of course they will. They're Arsenal. They couldn't even get the first in my Premier League predictions list. They were second. It's just where they're born to be, unfortunately. And if they won't be second, they'll probably be third. Number 3, the first Premier League manager to be sacked from the start of the season will be Sunderland's manager. Just to clarify, this is going to be starting on day 1 of the Premier League, whenever the first game is. Right, so any Premier League managers that are sacked or quit from now, from this video's release, won't count until the season starts. I haven't specified Regis Libri because there's a chance he leaves before the start of the season, and I think Sunderland's manager will be first to be sacked when they lose 5 games on the trot and fail to score in any of them. And I don't think Sunderland's manager will be the only one to be sacked, as unfortunately I think Daniel Farke will be sacked at some point during the season. And I'm going to say that the cutoff is the last game of the season, right? From the last game of the season to the first game of the season, that's the window I want this prediction to be in. I don't think it'll be as quick as people think, right? I think he'll start off quite well, but eventually it'll just get to a point where we've lost like 8 on the bounce, and it's like he has to go. Whether that be in like January or February, I don't know. Which leads me on to my next one, number 5. Despite his sacking, Leeds United will still win their first game back in the Premier League. I'm filming this on Monday the 16th. This video will probably be uploaded the Wednesday of the Premier League fixtures announced. So you guys know more than I do, because I don't know who we're playing on the first game of the season. But I think no matter who we play, whether it be Liverpool or Sunderland, I think we win. And I think it's a shock. You know, the entire world is like, oh god, Leeds could be something. And then it just goes downhill. But hopefully not. Number 6, Mbeumo joins Spurs, or more specifically, does not join Man United. At the moment, it looks like Mbeumo is either going to do Spurs or Man United. If I was him, I'd just stay at Brentford. Although, actually, maybe I wouldn't, and you'll find out why in a later prediction. But they kind of, you'll find out. Basically, I've just got a load of tweets from Mark Goldbridge saved that says like, I'll be surprised if Gyökeres doesn't come to Man United, and Mbeumo is definitely coming to Man United. So I'm just waiting for both of them to not go. And at the moment, looks like Gyökeres won't go to Man United. So that's one wrong. So I'm just waiting for Mbeumo to join Spurs, so Goldbridge is wrong again. Because that's what I find enjoyable in life. Hashtag love Mark Goldbridge. Number 7, the 3 relegated sides next season are going to be Sunderland, Burnley, and Manchester United. Nah, I'm joking. I wish. In fact, if Cunha hadn't joined and Mbeumo wasn't likely to join, I would have had Manchester United there. But I think Cunha already keeps him up, to be honest. I think he's really good. And then Mbeumo would do the same. So I don't think Man United are going to get relegated, unfortunately. But I don't think Leeds are either. It's going to be Brentford, I'm afraid. Yeah, 10th placed. 10th? Are they 10th? I think they were 10th, right? Oh yes, we're 11th. Yeah, they were 10th. That's right. I think Brentford will go from 10th to 17th this season, and it'll be horrific, and the world will be stunned. But they've lost Thomas Frank. They're gonna lose Mbeumo. They'll probably lose Wisa, and it's just gonna be downhill for them. They're gonna struggle to score any goals. They're gonna struggle to keep clean sheets, and it's just going to go badly for them, I'm afraid. But don't worry, Brentford, because Sunderland are going to get the lowest points total in the Premier League. I say don't worry to Brentford, but I should probably be saying that to Derby, who currently hold the record for least points in the Premier League. I think it's 11. And Sunderland are going to beat that. And I think it's fairly straightforward. I mean, Sunderland, I think Southampton are the second worst team in the Premier League ever, and Sunderland are worse than Southampton, I think, and their manager's worse, and they lucked out on the playoffs similar to Southampton, and the gulf between Premier League sides and Championship sides are way too big now, bigger than when Derby County were there, and I think they will quite easily break the points total for lowest points in the Premier League. Unlucky Sunderland. However, as much as Sunderland are going to break the lowest points total, Burnley are going to have the worst defence in the league. Yeah. Burnley fans, you can stop throwing things at the screen. I know you have the best defence in the Championship. I know you've got records for that stuff. But you're going to lose Trafford. You've lost Egan Riley. And unfortunately, the Premier League is a bit better than the Championship. So I think that you're going to have a worse defence than Sunderland. The only difference is Burnley, he'll be able to score some goals. Sunderland, I don't think Sunderland and Burnley's goals conceded stats are going to be that much different, but Burnley will have more goals conceded than Sunderland, and it's going to be horrific when seeing them go from best defence to worst defence. Number 10, Leeds United will beat Manchester United at Elland Road next season. Yeah, so those 10 predictions were fairly safe, I think. Liverpool win the league, Daniel Farke being sacked. There's a few pretty safe ones in there. So the last 10 are going to be a bit more shocking, a bit more controversial and a bit more unlikely to happen, just to, spicing up the video a bit. So let's begin. Number 11, Archie Gray will accidentally score an own goal against Leeds United next season. What? Number 12, Nottingham Forest are going to totally collapse next season. And I'm going to quantify that by their collapse will have happened if they are 14th or lower in the league. Conference League or Europa League, depending on what happens. Hopefully, Conference League will be too much to them and they're going to collapse and it's going to be awful. The owner of Nottingham Forest will controversially kick out their manager and end up with a terrible season, ending 14th or lower. Number 13, Alexander Isak will be the top scorer next season, hopefully at Newcastle. But, I think if Liverpool were to get Isak, Liverpool run this league riot. As I've said earlier, they've got Wirtz, they've got Frimpong. Get a brilliant striker, and I think they're unstoppable, to be honest. They're making FIFA career mode transfers over there at Liverpool, and no one really can compete, not even Manchester City. They've made loads of signings, but I don't think any of them are as good as Liverpool's. But yeah, doesn't matter where Isak goes, I think he becomes top scorer next season. More goals than Haaland, more goals than Salah. And in fact, I think Haaland is going to severely underperform next season, which leads me on to number 14. Omar Mamouche will have more goals and assists than Erling Haaland. I think that's going to be what happens. I think, maybe Haaland will have more goals, but I think Mamouche will have loads of goals and assists, and there will be more than Erling Haaland. Number 15, Leeds United's first red card of the season is going to be Jayden Bogle. Last season, we didn't really get any red cards, no on-field red cards. Jayden Bogle had suspensions for like five yellows, as you do. I think Firpo got suspended for like headbutting someone. It wasn't really a headbutt, but that happened like after the game. FIFA VAR'd it. I think in the Prem it'll be a different story. Leeds United will be losing, they'll be getting frustrated, and there's a higher chance for red cards in the Prem, I think. So here's what I think is going to happen. I'll paint you the picture. We'll be playing Manchester United. Jayden Bogle will be there, and he'll be terrified because Bruno Fernandes, he's got the ball, and he's running. He's running down the wing with it. He's probably gonna cross it in. So Bogle is running to catch up with him. He's terrified right now because he's just been in the box, right? They're on the break. Bogle has to run back to catch up with him, to catch up with Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes passes to Rasmus Højlund. Jayden Bogle relaxes, Højlund can't do anything, so he can calm down a bit, he can regather himself, compose himself. Højlund passes to Cunha. Oh dear, this is bad. Cunha can do something with the ball. Jayden Bogle has to put a tackle in. He has to get the ball. He puts a tackle in, swipes out Cunha's legs, falls to the ground. It's a horrific tackle. Ref gives it a yellow, as it should be. Bogle gets up. He's okay. He'll take the yellow. Man United haven't scored. He's good. But then VAR's on the screen. Oh dear. They're talking about upgrading the yellow to a red. VAR, look at it. The ref's asked to go to the screen. Oh, he knows what happens when the ref goes to the screen. Boom. Upgraded to a red. Bogle is the first player in Leeds United's season to get a red card. The world is shook. They can't believe this horrendous VAR decision. Fortunately, it won't matter because Leeds will already be 10-0 up to Manchester United. And that's what's going to happen. Number 16. Manchester United will lose 9-0 at some point this season. I thought we were doing risky predictions in this half of the thing. This is a no-brainer, surely. Sorry, man. I'm kidding, Manchester United fan. I'm kidding. Yes, I think Manchester United will lose 9-0 at some point this season. Probably to Liverpool, maybe to Manchester City. And that's going to be because they're going to keep an eye on her. They're going to have a horrific defence. Maybe even Nottingham Forest do it. It's possible. Anyone can do it. That's the problem, right? Manchester United, they used to be like, who's going to beat them? It'll be like one of the top teams. Liverpool, Man City. Now it's like, could be Everton, probably be Crystal Palace. It's possible. But it doesn't matter who it is. I just know that Manchester United are going to lose 9-0 at some point this season, matching the Premier League record for highest goals conceded in a single game. I've angered the Man United fans for a bit now, and I've kind of been complimenting the Liverpool side quite a bit this video. Liverpool fans probably quite happy at this point. Liverpool fans, if you want to just like the video and click off now, because number 17 is that Mo Salah is going to fall off next season. How do I quantify this fall off? I don't know. We'll know at the end of next season whether Mo Salah would have fallen off, right? And it will have to be like a big fall off. I'm not saying he has to match and exceed his last season's goal scoring and assists stats. I'm just saying he's going to fall off and it's going to be hard, Liverpool fans, you'll know about it right when it happens. Liverpool fans, I've angered you, I've angered basically everyone. It's time to, turn on my own team and anger some of them as well. And it angers me a bit as well. Because, half of me doesn't like this prediction and thinks it's totally rubbish. But half of me kind of thinks this is likely. And it's that Joe Rodon, unfortunately and harshly, will not be Premier League material next season. I think he's going to give away penalties. I think he's not going to be good defensively. And unfortunately, it's not going to go well for him. He's not going to be Premier League material, and he's unfortunately going to damage his pretty solid reputation at Leeds next season. And I'm only saying this because I know that Joe Rodon is far enough away from me to hurt me. To contrast the negatives of Joe Rodon of that prediction, we'll go with a positive prediction, which is number 19. Ethan Ampadu is going to score a goal next season. I really wanted Ampadu to score a goal last season, right? That championship season, he should have scored a goal at some point, you know? But unfortunately, he didn't. But I reckon he will next season, whether it be from a corner, whether it be just he's through on goal and he takes a shot, hell, maybe even a penalty, you know, who knows? If Pirro ain't on the pitch, I don't know who else I'd trust to take a penalty. You know, Pascal Struijk proved he can take a penalty, but I don't think Pascal Struijk will be playing for us that much next season. And number 20, we got to end this video with like a bang, you know, a prediction that gets the world talking, you know. Twitter will be trending about it, you know. The Leeds lad says this, get him cancelled. And unfortunately, the prediction that's going to do that is this. It's actually a prediction that we'll find out the result of fairly soon, and it's that. And I know it isn't really a Premier League prediction, but I wanted to include it, and it's that Tottenham will beat PSG in the Super Cup or the Charity Shield at the start of the season. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And I want to clarify, I'm not saying that Spurs are going to be great next season. No, I think it's just going to be one of those things, you know, they beat Manchester City 4-0. I think it's going to be a miracle, right? People are going to be stunned at how they did it because they're going to beat PSG and then their first game will be to Burnley and they will lose to Burnley. And the world will be like, Spurs will always be Spurs and Daniel Levy will always be Daniel Levy because he'll be fuming, right? Because he will sack Thomas Frank if they beat PSG in the Super Cup because he won a trophy. That'd be such a good start for Thomas Frank though. If he won the Super Cup, Thomas Frank's first game wins them a trophy. So, yep, they're my predictions. Comment down below your predictions. Comment down below how much you disagree with my predictions, but you'll be the ones crying when all my predictions come true. Let's see how many of these predictions actually come through. Maybe I'll print off a bin. Maybe I'll print off a bingo card with all of them on, so we can cross them out as the season goes on. Thanks for watching. Bye.